Hello, Vinyl community. This is JJ here, posting a new video out there. This one is for the blues tag that's floating around. Went through my collection, found some decent blues that I have, seen some repeats, but I will go ahead and show what I have. The first one I have are three CDs by Johnny Lang. I got introduced to him about 20 years ago when I worked at Best Buy. There was a commercial for him that was actually narrated by Dan Aykroyd because he was part of the House of Blues. He was known for being like a young prodigy on the guitar. One of my favorite blues albums by him is Wander This World. It's got a great rendition of Still Raining, Second Guessing, I Am, Breaking Me. I recommend checking this out. I've looked him up for vinyl. He really doesn't have much vinyl out there at all, if any. Maybe he's on a greatest hits somewhere or a soundtrack, but these CDs are about as close as I could find. Great record if you want blues. I recommend this one highly. The next one is another Johnny Lang that I have, Long Time Coming. This one has a great one on here I love called Red Light and Goodbye Letter. Great one. The next one I have is also a Johnny Lang. It's called Lie to Me. One of his other releases that he had as well. The tune Lie to Me is a really good song, as well as Darker Side and Rack 'em Up is another really good tune off this record. He's played a lot at the House of Blues down in Chicago, plays a lot of smaller stages here in town. Every time I get the opportunity to go to see him, I've tried to go see him live because he puts on a really good show. The next one I have is off another soundtrack that I have called The Color of Money. This was a 1987 release with Tom Cruise, directed by Martin Scorsese. The one on here that I wanted to point out is I believe it's by B.B. King is on this one. 1 second. Yes, Standing on the Edge of Love is on this record. Really good. There's also some good Eric Clapton on here. It's in the way that you use it. And Werewolves of London, the famous little rendition that Tom Cruise did in the movie to this one. So it's a really good record. I recommend this vinyl if you can get it. The next one is off the Risky Business soundtrack. This was a French only album release. There's also a CD floating around as well, as my understanding. This one, the one that's on here is Manish Boy, really good blues tune by Muddy Waters is on here, and they played it during the scene when all the hookers were coming over to his house. Um, Basically, to do the famous line, I introduced him to my friends, and she introduced him to her friends. That whole part, that was all that they played Manish Boy doing that as kind of a way of him growing up. Great movie, stands out of all the teeny bopper movies that were out at that time. Great blues songs on here as well. The next one I'm going to show is U2, off my U2 vinyl that I have. U2's greatest hits, the best of. The one I want to point out here is When Love Comes to Town, which is also on the U2 Rattle and Hum soundtrack. Both when U2 met B.B. King, I thought, in the movie, as well as when they went to the Elvis stuff. It wasn't cheeky, it wasn't avant-garde, offbeat. They really thought they showed sincere love for B.B. King and performing with him, and they were in quite awe to be able to perform with him. And this is the U2 best of, and it's called the tune When Love Goes to Town. It's with B.B. King and U2. Great song. I would not be doing justice to the blues if I didn't show one of my favorite bands, which is the Allman Brothers live from the Fillmore East. This is one of my all-time favorite records. The one I want to put on is the title track, or the one that starts off the whole thing, is the Statesboro Blues. It's a great tune. 4 minutes and 19 seconds, I think, of just awesomeness on the guitar, lyrics, vocals, great live recordings that they did. I also have the full Fillmore East recordings as well on digital. I've listened to this one and for a long time on bootleg before this stuff was released. Also on this record, on the vinyl, is a great, on side 4 is the entire 23-minute and 10-second rendition of Whipping Post. Great tune. Recommend this for anybody's collection if you're looking at the blues. And now, I would not be, I have to show this one. This is the Blues Brothers, the soundtrack to the movie. There's just She Shot the Katy. I thought they did a great job of singing the blues on here. Being that they are comedic actors, they didn't do anything cheesy, but they also had the theme from Rawhide on here as well from that one scene. Minnie the Moocher by Cab Calloway. Sweet Home Chicago, if you're a Cubs fan, that's sung after every time they win a game. That's very common out there for them to jam to that song. Even a blues rendition, kind of, I thought of Jailhouse Rock. Shake Your Tail Feather. It has the She Caught the Katy, which is the opening theme that they play in the beginning of the movie. Highly recommend this one here. The Blues Brothers soundtrack. I only have it on CD. Love to have it on vinyl, but I only have this one on CD. For a bit of trivia, that they shot one of the scenes of the movie when they're chasing the Nazis. That was shot in Milwaukee. That was not Chicago. That was downtown Milwaukee. And they actually built what was called the little trivia. They built the freeway to nowhere. It was nicknamed in Milwaukee for the longest time before they expanded onto it. That freeway, when they like balancing on there, the car, that was called the freeway of nowhere. That stayed in Milwaukee for years, 10, 20, as long as I can remember, it was out before they finally did a revamp to the freeway and finished the construction and added on to that. And now it's not there anymore. But for the longest time in Milwaukee, growing up as a kid, that freeway to nowhere was there. When it goes around, it goes to the Wisconsin Gas Company. And my mom worked there for 18 years, and that building, when they go do that scene, I notice it every time. It's our First Wisconsin Center. At that time, it was First Wisconsin. Now it's U.S. Bank, and you can see the gas company, which was the old gas company building that was used for eons in our town. And the last one, the only compilation closest to I could find anything KTEL was this released by Reno. This is the Millennium Blues Party. This is a great blues CD compilation if you can get it. Hoochie Coochie Man by Eric Clapton, Robert Cray Band, Smoking Gun, It Hurts So Bad, Manish Boy by Muddy Waters Again, Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl by Johnny Lang, Tough Enough by the Fabulous Thunderbirds. I'm going to read them all because this is a great mix of the blues on this CD. Johnny Be Good, Big Boss Man, The Thrill Is Gone by B.B. King, Dust My Broom, Wang Dang Doodle by King Taylor, Boom Boom by Johnny Lee Hooker, which is also in the Blues Brother movie. It's just not in the soundtrack. Flood Down in Texas, Ain't Wasting No More by the Allman Brothers Band. Great blues CD, recommended for anyone's collection. And so, without any further, that is my collection. If you have any comments, please comment below. I would love to hear them. And so that is my blues tag that I'm participating in. Have a great day, everyone.